I saw all the sales come in. I think that was our best sales day at an event this whole time. So I want to congratulate all of you. Tremendous, tremendous work. Now, this takes me back many years. I remember when I just took over on leadership. When I was with Bob, I just started doing events. Anytime we had an event, I did a training. I would put all of you in a room, you guys know this, and then all the results started coming up. So I think it's important when we're together to mix in training. And what I want you guys to do is be very actively involved. So even when Monica trains you every week, I want you to stop being yes people. What I've observed is you guys are too much yes people. It's very challenging for her. It's very challenging to put in a new lesson every week to train you guys. And I was coaching her on things that I would do that don't have a lesson. That say, let's review your week. But you guys have to ask her feedback or give her feedback on what you need. Like all of you have different needs that you want help, but you keep it within yourself. And I think it's something that I would encourage you to do the opposite. Now, it's interesting with listening because Monday morning, we went in that green room and I said, and I'm just showing you a blind spot, and I told all of you that I want you to observe her and watch her. Well, we get out of that meeting, she goes to the breakfast and mingles with everybody. All of you sat in a corner and talked to each other. So literally within a second, you didn't hear what I said. Literally within a second. So where else are you not being coachable? Okay? And you didn't mean to do it, but you didn't listen. Right? You did not listen. Now, one of the keys that I see, there's different keys that I see that will really upgrade all your results. Because my intention is for you all to earn more money than you've ever earned before. I want you to get so good at what you do. But the two things that I see the most of, we have an attitude problem. And with this, you guys don't even know you have an attitude problem. And if you observe some of the languages, some of the things, like, I'll hear different things that you tell me, or I hear it in passing because you guys don't think I'm observing you. I'm watching everything you're doing. I'm watching your confidence. I'm watching your shoulder shrug. I'm watching you shame yourself. Like, I can see it all the time. And the second thing is confidence. Confidence is a big one. And there's clients, if you don't have confidence, they're not going to respect you. They like you, but they won't respect you. But they won't do business with you if they don't respect you. You know what they'll do? They'll go to her. They'll come to me. They'll go around you guys, and you want to create a standard for yourself of that I'm the best at what I do. I'm the very best at what I do. So if you look at your goal, it has to be a 10 and a 10. Okay? So that's what we work towards. You're not going to achieve your goals if you're shaming yourself. If you're shaming yourself.
Like beating yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Rep was with me this morning. We were taking my kids to school. And I was talking to my son. My son started crying because he goes, I'm so far behind in English. And I said, who cares? I said, everything's fixable. And I said, until you get this and you keep putting yourself down because you're so far behind, I said, what'll happen when you turn in that paper? He goes, it'll turn into a 95. And I said, so what's the problem? I said, you're stressing yourself out for no reason. And I told them this, and I tell you this all the time. I told both my kids this morning, you have to have an I don't give a fuck attitude. And that's exactly what I told them. I said, because if you're going to let one score, or you guys are letting one client, one thing happen, you got to let it go. You got to let it go and go on to what's next. But you're not going to win big shaming yourself. So look at your income goals, okay? Whatever that income goal is, a 6 is not good enough. So if you keep shaming yourself, you're impacting your attitude, you're impacting your confidence, and you're impacting how you see yourself, okay? So my intent though, short term, my short-term intent is to get all of you to start selling 10 new clients a month. That's my first, it's not my end goal for you, it's my first goal. Because if I can get you to 10, you're gonna earn more money than you need based on where you guys are. And then we could work on really creating massive freedom for you guys. See, for you to create massive freedom, that means you're helping other people create massive freedom. And that's what we want to understand. Now, freedom is going to demand personal transformation. It is going to absolutely demand you to transform. Now, that's an easy statement, right? It makes sense. But we have to measure what your personal transformation is for each of you. Like, where do you want to personally transform? What areas do you want to transform? So you want to measure it to where it is. If you're trying to transform all areas, you're not going to do it. So like, what is that one area for you that you want to personally transform? And once you get that one, then we do the next one. I think you all are trying to do too many things, and it's keeping you stuck into your past story. I was telling Monica outside, we were just talking, I said, these are the biggest things that I'm observing is attitude, courage, confidence, and they don't work on something long enough to make it part of their identity. Like, you'll start getting results, then you take your foot off the gas. You know, so we wanna do the real work, not the fake work. I said it yesterday because I overheard some clients, and I said, whenever I hear somebody says, I know this, I'm like, oh God, they're in a bad spot. Like, I don't know this yet. And I know it better than a lot of people, but I never think that I know it, you know? So I want you to really see what area from now until the end of the year that I want to put all my energy to personally transform. Now, I want somebody to take notes for me because I'm going to give you things that I think you guys should do. And then before we leave, let's put them in bullet points that these are what we're doing. One thing every day that I would encourage you to do is rewrite your personal story. Rewrite that story. This is the one we're using?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is going to require you to let go of your past self. What part of my past self that I don't like that I keep showing up? You know, what part of that? Do you know? What is it for you?
Shaming myself.
Okay. What about you?
Letting go of the old story.
Letting go of the old story. Okay. Reem, what about you?
Feeling sorry for people.
It's a big one. They don't, I want to shift your attitude towards this. You can't help someone if you feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for anybody. You know, but you can't help somebody if you feel sorry for them. They have just as much power as you do. They have just as much potential as you do. Now, I'm not saying don't be empathetic. I'm not saying don't be compassionate, but you can't help them until you let that go. But we've got to look at what is that 80%? What is that? That's the thing you're holding on to so tightly. But you can't increase your life until you increase your attitude. You cannot do it. But why do we hold on? You have to get this. Your brain is not going to let go of a lesson. It's not going to let go of a circumstance until you learn the lesson. That's how it's trained. That's why you'll see the same people date the same people over and over again. Same people make that same mistake over and over again. Like, I want the mistake to create an emotional impact for you, being like, I don't want to do this anymore. That's where it could be good for you, a mistake. But if you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, nothing's going to change. So we have to look at what part of our story is really holding us back.
You know what, Arash, what you just said was so impactful for me. You told me a couple months ago, just focus on one part of your identity that you want to work on, and that's what I did. But I think what you said before, maybe you guys don't know what to work on, or you start piling on more to work on, right? So that's a form of distraction. If they stay locked in onto that.
Yeah. We have to focus on one thing at a time. That's why I've said it so many times. I don't think people believe me, but I worked on attitude for 2 years. And I was doing really good compared to what I was doing before. But I was always up and down. I'd be really high, really low, right? Really high, really low. And I was like, I got to figure this out. And I remember when I told Bob, he goes, it's attitude. And he said, do you want me to help you figure this out? I said, no. I said, I got to figure this out. And he said, good answer. So I studied the science of getting rich over and over and over again, to the ridiculous. Like, if you look at my Science of Getting Rich book, it's like has water stains on it because I take it on vacations. It was like, but I only studied 5 paragraphs. Those 5 paragraphs changed my life. They changed my life. But all of you have an attitude, and it's triggered by the circumstance. Everybody's attitude. It's not just us in here. It's not just what we do, it's what everybody's doing. It's triggered by that circumstance because we're so obsessed with the circumstance, and we've tied our identity to the circumstance, so people keep getting the same thing over and over again, right? So we want to pick the most important thing that each of you are going to let go of. I always laugh at this. I used a lot of stories of Bob because Bob and I talk so much. And he would be like, people come to us wanting us to know what they do. Like, this is what I do during the day. Who cares? Nobody cares. Just do the work. Like, nobody knows what I do during the day. Nobody has any idea what I do. Like, Nicole has my schedule. She has no idea what I do. No idea. But I don't care that she has no idea. I don't care that you all have no idea. Like I said it the other day, I was like, I don't care if you work 3 hours if you get your work done. It doesn't matter to me. But people are working too much on the wrong things. And then they say, I'm upset with me, but I want to project it on rep. I'm upset that I'm not in control of me, so I want everyone to know how hard I work, right? And it really doesn't matter because you're writing your destiny. So the more coachable you guys can become, the quicker you guys are going to change the results. Now, if you don't understand controlled attention, Wendell's a great example of this. I remember he came to me at the Ondas, and he says, I want to work with you. And I said, go talk to Monica. I was like, I didn't know where this was going. So I said, talk to Monica. And Monica starts training him, and he wasn't really coachable at that point. Would you agree? Yeah. So I called him and I said, this isn't going to work. And I said, you're not up to our standard. It was exactly what I told you. And it pissed him off.
I remember exactly where it was at.
It pissed him off. And I said, you can get mad, or you could use this as fuel. Since then, he's been around us the very least. And out of anybody in here outside of Monica, he's created the best results. Out of anybody. So that's where controlled attention works, where somebody doesn't have a skill, but they have that desire and they tap into it over and over and over again. And then you look at how many Yoders are at these events. Like, think about it.
Some real and some fake ones.
Think how much we have impacted through Wendell. It started with Wendell, worked through me, worked through everybody here, because you've all talked to them. how much of an impact we've made on those families. So every time you distract yourself, you are taking away from who you can help. Who you can help. So that's what you have to remember. Now, what we have to understand is when we're looking at that 80%, all of us have something we want to eliminate. All of us. So, but it all starts with what you really want. See, I think you're going to disagree with this, and it's fine. I think your want is too weak. I think the want has to be not just 10 times stronger for all of you. I want it to be 100 times stronger. When I was saying, talking to Reem, that I've already accepted the idea that we're going to rule the Middle East together. Like when I get an idea, that's it. That is it. And what happens, it's so magical how the universe works. I was in a room just like this a few months ago, and we were with our coach. And when we first hired him, he started watching me and he goes, "Oh, you have something special." And he said, "The way you look," because I'm Middle Eastern, he said, "You need to..." Reem never came to me with this. You got to understand this. I didn't even know Reem wanted this. I didn't go to Reem, she came to me. He said, "You have to get in the Middle East." And then what happens? I accepted that idea. And then she calls me. And I go, "This is interesting." But that's like one of my superpowers is accepting ideas. Like I accept it right away. If we have a problem in our house, I'm like, "What's the solution?" I get Veronica on board and then she does all the stuff. But like I'm always thinking automatically. I remember when we decided we were going to fly private. I'm like, next year this time we're going to fly private here. Next year we did. But I'm really good at accepting ideas. Accepting an idea, it has to be congruent with the want. So once you know what you want, you accept it right away. Like if you want to be a great leader, you accept it. I'm the best in the world. And we have to make the want authentic. It doesn't matter what your wives want, what your husbands want, what your kids want. It has to be what you want. Most of you, your wives and husband don't do this work, so you can't go based on what they want. You have to have that want and you have to build it. And the more you build it, you're going to make it a magnificent obsession. Like ask yourselves right now, is my goal a magnificent obsession? Is it? You'll know right away. You'll know because you're only thinking from it being done if it is. You're not thinking of why it won't work. You're not thinking of present circumstances. You're thinking of it being done. So you'll know if it's, I already know. I know, now Wendell has the strongest want in this room. He has the strongest want. It's obvious to me. It is so obvious. Now, we've got a lot of work still to do on the identity, but his enthusiasm is already bringing the results. We were in London, and I said, he asked me, he goes, "Should I come?" And I said, "I don't know, do you want to come?" And he said, "Well, these are my circumstances." And the only thing I said to him is, "What would your future self do?" That's all I said to him. I said, I don't make decisions for anybody. Monica said that the other day. I will put it in front of you, and then it's up to you. And he ended up coming. We were in a bar, in an Irish bar in London, and we're sitting there, and I said, "I think we have to change your plan." And I said, "All I want you to focus on is 10 sales a month." Why did I tell him that? I needed to simplify it in his mind. I needed to give him a target to go after. And then I said, if we get you to 10, you're never going to worry about your circumstances, right? You did 10 this month, right?
Well, 8.
Hey, it's not over.
No.
So we can get 10 by the end of the day with those people I told you to call. So Why do I know the people for him to call or people to Monica to call? Because they come to me. And then we mastermind about them. And I am just so detached with it. I never know their circumstances. I just accept it. And then whatever they do, they do. So when you make your future a magnificent obsession, that's what it's going to do. Now, this isn't to make you all feel bad. This is to give you the opportunity to feel good. Oh my God, if I just do this, it'll change the game. But he accepted that idea and he went to work. So let's ask ourselves, why am I not building my want into a magnificent obsession? Why am I not building that into a magnificent obsession?
Does it have to do with, so if they know what they want and they're not building that into their obsession, it's because the numbers that we heard, their language would be not matching that person, because you have to build the want and create the language around that.
I think they know the want. I think every one of you knows what you want in this room. I don't think you're building the disciplines, because I don't think if you're doing the morning routine, I don't think you're doing it properly. I don't think you're committing to the auto-suggestion and the mental rehearsal to build it strong. And I know you're not practicing the power of 5. Those 3 things connect right to your want. They connect right to your want. Look, the work isn't easy. It takes discipline. But discipline is the prequel to the life you want. So look at your want right now. Okay, what is it?
Financial freedom, 25K a week.
25K a week. Okay, so if you were financially free, what would that do for your family?
Just feel a whole lot better.
Whole lot better.
A lot lighter.
Lighter.
Yeah.
You understand every one of your goals is not about a thing. It's about a feeling you're chasing. It's a feeling. It's not a thing.
I'm not feeling I'm chasing, it's feeling light.
Yeah. So that's why you have to do the processes. None of this works. There's no reason to be disciplined if you don't have a magnificent obsession. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's no reason to be. But once you do it, you're going to do it. So every time, this is where we are right now, this is our goal. And there's always a brick wall, and the paradigm is going to defend itself like crazy. It is going to defend its operating system. Like this Mac has an operating system. Well, you have a paradigm inside of you that has an operating system. And until you decide to stop doing it when you feel good, but do it all the time, you're going to always see yourself with where you are. You're going to always see yourself with where you are. I'm more light on you guys when you're struggling. I'm harder on you guys when you're doing well, because it's a good time that I can be, that I can get you to put your foot on the gas. But why are you operating at such a low standard of pressure? Like if you have a standard, there is no pressure. There's just, this is who I am. When you tap into pressure, I'm worried about how many people are going to be X, how many people I'm going to sell. You're operating very ineffectively. And we have to make an irrevocable decision to knock that paradigm. I was costing myself millions upon millions upon millions because of my attitude. You're costing yourself over a 5-year span millions of dollars of shaming yourself. That's the price you're paying. You're paying a price all the time. That's the price you're paying. So how do you change attitude in the most simple way? You look for the good in everything. You never complain. You never criticize, and you never judge. But to be a great performer, you can't criticize, you can't blame, you can't judge. And that's what's going to take you from where you are to where you want to go. Now the truth is, we're going to get there anyway, with or without you all. I want it to be with you. I want to help you guys because I know this. I mean, when I started this, I had no experience, but I had guts when I started this. And you could win at a significant level with just sweat equity. But that's what you have to understand. But I want you to write this question: what part of my paradigm is holding me back the most? What part of my paradigm is holding me back the most? And if you think you don't have it, I promise you all of us have it. But when you get that idea, you run with it. That's how you know somebody accepted an idea. But we have to get you to turn your goal into a love story. How do you turn it into a love story? You got to remember your why. Like, why? You said you wanted to have financial freedom. So if I want to have financial freedom, then I'm not going to shortcut my disciplines. I'm not going to shortcut it at all. But if it's not a love story, you're going to know. You're going to know right away. And if it's not a love story, you're not going to achieve it. I've never achieved any goal that I haven't wanted so badly. I haven't wanted it so badly. Like, you go look at that room the last 3 days. That was a great group of people. I always say it, like, all of them are great. We attract really great clients. We're fortunate. But that's because of our messaging and the type of care we have with it. There's a lot that goes into it to attract that type of clientele. So the belief when you're selling it, you already know we're the best at what we do. There's no one better than us. Now, somebody else may say the same thing, that's fine. It doesn't matter what they think, it only matters what we believe in this room. That's the only people that believe it, that need to believe it. So I've been all over this year. I've been to London, Toronto, California, Dallas. I've been all over. I tell them all the same thing. I know I can help them, and they know I can help them. That's the type of thing that you have to bring in when all you guys are talking to somebody. Like, we're going to help you. When you're winning, it's a lot more fun. You're freer. It's just so much more fun. So you've got to win your own personal battle first. You've got to win your own personal battle.